In this economy, there are a lot of things that agents should be looking at in terms of how they are managing their agencies. But what should be the top priority? This segment is part of a three-part series on managing an agency in a troubled economy. So what should be the number one priority? Juan Andrade is Executive Vice President for Sales and Distribution at the Hartford. As part of his job, he oversees his company's agency management consulting arm, Business Management Group, and speaks with agents across the country about management practices. Andrade believes agency management requires a holistic approach, but there are priorities. Today, agents should put customer retention above all else as the number one priority, above new sales, above expense reduction, above cash management. We asked him if he would explain what an agency needs to do to put customer retention first.
Sure. I think really the most important thing is to always let your customers know the value that you as an agent, as an advisor, as a counselor can really bring to the table. After all, that is a big part of the service that you're selling to them. And so a big part of that is really the relationship that you're able to maintain with the account, whether it's a commercial account or a personal lines account, really continually showing that individual, that business owner, that you're there for them, that you can provide value, that you can provide advice. So the relationship part of it, I think, is very critical. I think following on to that is the fact that on the value proposition that you can continue to look out for their best interest, their coverage, their price, etc., just to make sure that as prices come down in the soft market, you're always giving them the most competitive quote that you can find, basically to make sure that you, again, enhance that value that you can offer to them.
In this economy, it might be tempting for agencies to cut back on certain expenses, travel for example, but that cost-cutting instinct could undermine the customer retention efforts. Isn't it important to have face-to-face contact with clients in order to keep them?
Sure. I think contact is the most important thing, period. Now, for some accounts, probably the larger commercial accounts, I think the face-to-face is very important because there's a substantial amount of premiums at risk. So I think for that, we ought to make sure that, that we are spending enough time, whether it's with the risk manager, the CFO, the human resources manager, to develop and nurture the relationship. I think as you maybe move down to smaller accounts, I think just being in contact with them on the telephone, just letting them know that you are keeping their best interests at heart, I think is very important. But I think to me the most important thing is the contact, the engagement, the continual engagement with those people.
So customer retention should be an agency's number one priority as it manages its way through this troubled economy. How does an agency know it is doing a good job? Can agents really expect 100% customer retention in this economy?
No, I think in this economy, I think it's difficult. You know, some of the data that we have seen out in the marketplace would indicate that at an account retention level, the best agencies will probably run at about 90%. I think if you're south of that by far, then you're probably worrying about, you know, where is the business going? Is there competitive activity in your market? Are you with the right carriers, the pricing, etc.? But I would say account ratios of about 90% are probably very strong right now. And you're right, given the economic times and the pressure with rate, it's difficult. And this is why customer retention is one of the critical strategies.